Hello, how's everybody doing today? Here to talk to you about goal setting and kind of some meta principles with goal setting to start out. I really wanted to build out a really practical video for how to set goals and how to really take the steps to create an effective goal that your team is actually going to follow through on. But first, I felt like I needed to talk about some of the thought processes behind goal setting so that we're really effectively setting goals, because we can create the SMART goal, but if it's an outcome goal versus a process goal, that's going to make a huge difference on how that goal plays out and your players' motivation and just the effectiveness of that goal in general. So I want to talk to you about outcome, performance, and process goals. The first one is outcome goals. So the goal with an outcome goal is like to win the game. It's the outcome that comes from your whatever you're doing. So in sports, it's the win, it's the championship, it's the thing that comes after the game, right? It's that achievement that you're looking for. And this is really good for creating some motivation in your players. It's a really good short-term motivator, but generally it doesn't really work out in the long run. It doesn't keep that motivation going forward for those players. So the next one we talk about is performance goals. And the difference between this one is it's more focused on the skills that they're going to use. So it's more about the individual player and how many points they're going to score, or how many assists that they're going to have, or what shooting percentage that they are going to shoot. That's more of what your performance goal is, and it's less about the outcome, more so focused on, okay, what do I want out of my performance personally? And then the last one is the process. So that's just the everyday, okay, what does it take to get to these points? It's the daily, okay, what goals do I have for my daily? So what do I need to be doing every day? And we're going to use all three of these actually to get the most effective use out of goal setting. So you want to have an outcome goal, something that you're striving for, something that is kind of external. But within that, you have to realize that that outcome goal has extremely low control. There's only so much that one person can have an effect on a game. And so sometimes if we're setting a goal of, say, winning a game, and the referees are terrible and the other team is cheating and they're not calling it, and they're calling bad calls on you, bad penalties on you, and you lose the game, it's not really your fault, but you didn't reach your goal because you had that outcome goal, even though there was things outside of your control. Your teammates, your players, your other coaches, the other team, a bad bounce, the weather, all sorts of different things play into the eventual outcome. So as we're looking at it, we think, okay, for each player, what do they need to do to set themselves up to get the best chance of getting the outcome, right? So if you're the star quarterback, you're saying to yourself, okay, I want to complete enough, I want to have 200 yards passing. And if we have 200 yards passing, then we are really likely to get that outcome goal of winning. So he sets the performance goal of 200 yards and then goes at it and does that. A lot more control within that, right? Where they get to control how many yards they're going to throw for, what kind of actions they're going to take, as opposed to looking at it some external. But again, there's going to be some control that's not theirs in this, because there's a certain level where you can't control what the defense does. What if the defense just refuses to let you throw? They drop as many guys back there as possible to try and keep you from completing a pass, where if you're just running the ball, it would have been much more successful. So we can't get too hung up on performance goals as well. And that's why we move into process goals. So a process goal is going to be the one that you're just grinding on every day. And as you start to look at this, you're going to say, okay, so what outcome do I want? As you look at your outcome, you say, okay, what kind of performance do I need to have to reach that outcome level? Then you're going to look at, okay, what's the process that I need to be taking every day to be able to hit that performance goal? So if your goal is going to be for throwing 200 yards this week, okay, what does the process look like? What does your everyday practice look like? How many throws are you getting in? What kind of throws are you getting in, right? You need to start looking at what kind of goals we can be doing in the process realm. So just the daily, like, all right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to throw for 30 minutes today. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And honestly, as we look at these, outcome is going to be the worst kind of goals. The process is really where you can get the most value because your players are going to enjoy just going through the process and actually just enjoying the daily grind of getting better. And that's going to really push them forward. Whereas sometimes when you get too long of a view, it can be discouraging because it doesn't feel like you're getting any closer to it and it doesn't feel like you're going to accomplish it. So use these goals together and really focus and hammer on those process goals. Really focus on, all right, what are the daily things we need to do to get better to reach our highest point? And that's what I would say about this kind of thought process behind goal setting. And then next week, I will be setting up with a new goal setting one, a little more practical, more hands-on. But I wanted to give you that background before anything else. So I appreciate you checking it out. As always, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you're thinking. And if you really want to step up your leadership and become a legend, then check out brettcotta.com. Some really cool stuff we can do if you're really interested in it, and really good coaching to get you to that next level. And until next time, just keep getting tougher.